Well, can I ask you, I will not interrupt you. You interrupted me. You interrupted me, so I will interrupt you, but let me do that. Let me tell you.
on your voting record.
Hold on.
Let me finish.
No, but let me finish and I'll let you finish. You interrupted me. You interrupted me. I'll tell you what I will do. No, please, leave him there. What I will do, because I think it's important. What I will do is this. If you will allow me to do so we can do it in a responsible, respectful fashion. I will let you finish, but I will challenge you on one thing. Put the facts on the table. Put the facts on the table, all right? So if you say that I cut Medicare, I voted against a $500 billion cut against Medicare, which was in the Obama's health care bill. There was a $500 billion cut on Medicare. I voted against that. Now, show me, I challenge you to show me where I voted to cut Medicare.
I can answer that question.
Please do.
I believe you voted for the Paul Ryan plan, which does call for a complete phasing out of Medicare within 10 years. That's $6 trillion.
That's absolutely not true. That's not true.
Well, it's over $6 trillion, and the
it does not cut Medicare.
Well, it calls for federal vouchers for people to buy private insurance.
It does not.
That's what it stipulates. That's
no,
exactly
no, you have your talking points wrong. But it's all right. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that. Let me just show you.
The Paul Ryan plan does call for that. It does call for the dismantling of that social program.
No, it doesn't.
Over 10 years?
No, it doesn't. Let me tell you what it does, if I may. According to either CBO or the Medicare actuaries, Medicare is bankrupt in a decade. You and I obviously agree to that because we know that's the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody disputes that. So here's the question. How do we save Medicare when we know that in 10 years, if we do nothing, it is absolutely bankrupt? How do we save it? The only plan that's out there that saves Medicare is the one, by the way, an imperfect plan. It should be the only plan out there that does so. But right now, the only plan out there that has any credibility, that saves Medicare, is the House budget that saves Medicare. Now, let me ask you this. You are aware that in the Obama health care plan,
absolutely, and
there was a $500 billion cut on Medicare. Wait a second. It took that money out of Medicare, didn't reinvest it in Medicare. It took it out of Medicare to create a new program.
Right.
That's an actual cut in Medicare. So my vote is this. I support and supported protecting Medicare for those that are on it now and for future generations, because we know, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, and I will show you that it is bankrupt in basically 10 years, and I vote for and supported a plan that will keep a program, Medicare, for those on it now, and for future generations, provide for a program as well, which will not exist if we do nothing. So let's just get the facts straight.
Well, I don't believe those are the facts, because considering that the Congressional Budget Office did say that the 65-year-olds would have to cover an average of twice as much of their total health care costs under Ryan's plan. I mean, the Washington Post also outlined like the effects of it. I mean, currently 47 million elderly and disabled people do rely on Medicare, and it's like within a program like this, you know, where the actual, to cover the shortfall would be provided by federal vouchers to purchase private insurance. How do we explain that the Washington Post did say that the tens of millions would be driven to poverty? You know, because you do talk about the economic crisis and how it's getting worse.
It is.
I mean, and this...
Well, it's not getting worse. It's not getting much better.
Well, I mean, this is like a pad. You know, a cushion, at least, at the very least.
What's a cushion?
Well, Medicare, at least,
I support Medicare. I'm a strong supporter.
But the Paul Ryan budget plan specifically, I don't believe it. Let's be honest with each other. And if you want to film me, put it down there. You don't have to hold it. Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't...
No, seriously, don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Right.
I mean, don't worry about it. I mean, you want to put it here?
Oh, no, it's fine.
All right. Look, here's the scoop. Medicare...
Government only engages the wealthy. Banks got bailed out, we got sold out.
And I voted against the bailout, and your president supported it. So, by the way, you have a good issue there? You're talking to the wrong guy. I voted against the bailout. I voted against the bailout.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
But do you believe extending the Bush tax cuts are actually productive? Because the Paul Ryan plan also extends the Bush tax cuts, which are $4.2 trillion. and the estate tax cuts, which are $1 trillion. I mean, how's this deficit reducing? So where one portion is saved, and then we have another deficit creation.
Good question, though. I agree with President Obama when he said that raising taxes in a time of economic, I don't want to misquote him, but I'm not quite sure if the word was uncertainty, downturn, so I'm paraphrasing, okay, because I don't remember exactly what word, but when President Obama in 2009 said raising taxes in tough economic times is a bad idea because it's detrimental to the economy, I agree with him. Now, he has, subsequent to that, changed his mind and now wants to raise taxes on a number of individuals. I agree with what he said originally, that raising taxes, particular at a time when the economy is struggling, and particularly when you have, as I mentioned before, about $3 trillion worth of private sector money that's not being invested precisely because those individuals, those groups believe that their taxes may be going up among other factors, that would be detrimental. So I think raising taxes now...
But why appease them? I mean, I'm not appeasing them. I know, but it could be argued, and I think that's a consensus, that they did create and manufacture this crisis. You know, it's Wall Street's fault, not our fault. And you know, and we're being told to like tighten our belts, and that's the Washington D.C.
Wait, hold on. I voted against the Wall Street bailout.
Right. No. Okay. Right. But on one hand,
so that's an issue you should bring up with President Obama and a bunch of Republicans.
It's everyone.
Not me. Not me.
I think it's...
Yeah, but I voted against it. So I voted against that. I think bailing out Wall Street for bad behavior was a really bad, stupid precedent.
But on one hand, like at the very same time, we were effectively reducing with the Paul Ryan plan the corporate tax rate from 35% to 25%. Absolutely. I don't believe that's a very good incentive because, you know, we're appeasing them. I believe we're appeasing them through doing that. You know, the very same people who manufacture this crisis. And I think it's time to tax the rich, the super rich, and I do believe that we need to expropriate their wealth, and at least.
Well, again, look, you and I disagree with that. I think expropriating wealth is the term that you've used, has been used in the past, and it's a very dangerous concept. I think the reality. And I think we need to incentivize investment. I think expropriating wealth.
Right.
In this community, that has a really bad connotation.
But when you say...
Maybe you should use a different term.
But when you say, like, they're sitting on almost $3 trillion, that almost to say that we have to bow down to them and hopefully ask them, that, which is not going to be the case. I'm not saying...
I pose it as a question. What is, if you know that there's $2 to $3 trillion in private sector money that's not being invested, how do you get that money to be invested? Now, you're saying expropriate it. I guess. You're entitled to your opinion. I think that would be reckless. I think that would be dangerous. I think that would have then what you would do is have just the opposite effect. Because I think, what are you going to force people to spend money?
It's not, well, I don't believe in actually targeting, we don't believe in targeting people who actually have checking accounts, for example, but the actual people who, the actual banks who are sitting on that, on that hoard of wealth.
What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
We don't believe in actually targeting families and actually the workers and expropriating their wealth. We believe that
I don't believe in expropriating anybody's wealth. I don't believe in expropriation.
The wealthy are in control.
We'll continue this conversation, but there's a lot of people here.
Right.
I think it's, unless you guys only want me to talk.
I'm sorry, but it's to be clarify.
Hold on. I mean, look, we live in a democratic society, and this is a democratic forum. If you can get your colleagues, show of hands, that he's going to be the only one speaking. Anybody want, or should somebody else speak? I'm fine either way. All right. So why don't we then let's listen to
someone else.
We'll get back to you. I'm fine. I'm fine. Look. And you can do whatever you want with the camera, because I love cameras. I'm a politician, man. I live,
and that's
happy.
the problem.
I got my political smile on. I mean, I do. I'm happy. So seriously, I'll talk to you. I will talk to you. I've got nothing to hide, and I appreciate seriously that you're here. I appreciate your interest, and I appreciate not only that we may have serious philosophical differences of opinion. Thank God for that. You want to appropriate, take people's money. I don't. You know something?
It's not people's money.
You want to take.
The corporations who are not people.
Right. Whatever you want to do, and I may not, but you know something? Thank God. We live in a free country, but I think it's important that we listen to everybody, so you and I will talk again, if that's all right with you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, anybody else? Because, my spiel was interrupted, but I didn't have much of a spiel. No, my spiel was this, that we are where we are. How do we get this economy going? I think we need to incentivize what has made the United States the wealthiest nation in the history of mankind, which is what? It's not government, borrowing